What's up, and welcome back to Rumor Has It Official. Let's get straight into talking about 90 Day Fiance. This is season 8, episode 16, and the title of this episode is Second Guessing. And in this video, we're going to be talking all about Mike and Natalie. But before we get into this video, do me a big favor and give this video a big thumbs up. Share with a friend who also is watching 90 Day Fiance, and subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified on the next time I make an upload. Also, if you are subscribed and you have not been receiving your notifications, do me a favor and go ahead and reset your notification settings by hitting that bell. So that way we can see if it'll help you to now receive notifications. If you have been, great. You don't have to do anything different, but I thought maybe that might help some. If you just reset the settings, see if that will help you to start getting notified each time I upload. So you all know that I've been doing something different where I have been splitting the couples up by the episode. And I try to get all of the couples in, but if not, I try to get the ones that we talk about the most up. But if you guys like the way that I'm doing the videos, just let me know by sending some positive feedback down below in that comment section, because it helps me greatly to know, what you all like to see. So we're going to go ahead and get straight into talking about Mike and Natalie. Now, with 3 days left before her visa expires, Natalie and Tamara are on the way to check into a hotel room that Mike booked for them. Okay. Now, Tamara, if you are not privy, Tamara is Mike's neighbor. So she is going to be staying with Natalie at the hotel so that they can both get up in the morning and she can take Natalie to the airport. Now, Natalie says that she didn't receive an explanation as to why Mike canceled the wedding and feels that she deserves one. I think that if any man is going to cancel a wedding, I do believe that the woman does deserve an explanation as to why you're now calling off the wedding. So that she can have closure in that area and move on if you two are not going to be together or have a future together. Now, Mike, on the other hand, is at the ranch kicking Natalie's pink slippers that she left. And I think he's really realizing just how alone he is going to be now that no one else is in the house. Since she's gone, he's realizing just how lonely he is going to be. And Mike tells the producer that he just got cold feet and felt so rushed. He told Natalie that he wasn't ready and says that Natalie packed up so quickly and left. So the day of they were supposed to get married, he says that he got cold feet, he felt rushed, and that he wasn't ready. And Natalie without hesitation, she packed up and she was ready to leave. Now, it makes sense to me because she only has 3 days left. And if her visa expires and she's still here and they have not tied the knot, she will be an illegal immigrant. So she's trying to get home before it's too late. Then you have the whole pandemic happening. She doesn't know if borders are closed, if she'll be able to get back home. So, she's trying to act very fast and waste no time. So I don't know what he really expected. Her to just sit around and, bat her eyes and beg and plead with him. If you say you're not ready, you don't want to marry somebody, then, what do you expect that person to do when they were here based off of the K-1 visa? Back to Natalie and Tamara. Once they get to Seattle, Washington, they are told that they can't get a room because the card holder is not present, which would be Mike. What I guess I didn't understand is why Mike didn't just reserve the room by phone, because I believe that is definitely possible for someone to reserve and book a room for someone other than themselves. So he could have called, booked the room, even booked the room online. They have a laptop. We've seen them have a laptop at his house. So he could have booked the reservations, booked the room from home by phone or online. And I'm not sure why that didn't happen, but maybe it was just all part of their storyline and possibly a setup. So that Natalie wouldn't be able to go anywhere. Now, the whole time I'm thinking, their whole storyline and everything that's going on in this scene and in this episode is so phony. So now, because they told her that the card holder would have to be present in order for her to check into the room, Natalie has to go back to Mike's house. Once they pull back up, she says that she has no idea what will happen when she steps foot back into Mike's home, adding that this is the worst day of her life. Just to add one more thing, Natalie kept saying how scared she was to be traveling during coronavirus, but the whole time while she was out, going into the hotel, walking, when they reached Seattle, her and Tamara, she did not have a mask on. So how scared are you really? You're not even protecting yourself. At this point, I know you have to know that has been promoted for people to be wearing a mask, and she did not have a mask on. She's walking, she's recording on her phone, and not one time did I see her have a mask on. So how scared really are you, Natalie? Natalie has to return back to the ranch, and as soon as she pulled up, Mike requested that she stop recording, because at this point, I don't really think there are a lot of the camera crew's production is probably not there. So she's having to film on a cell phone that is provided by production. So she's filming. Mike requested that she stop recording. Now, the next morning, Natalie says that she has been ignoring Mike and they slept in separate bedrooms, adding she feels insecure and doesn't know what to do. Mike says that he feels terrible for what he did and would like to sit down with Natalie and talk about things. Now, when she enters the room, he's filming and talking, and she enters the room. You can see her walk in from behind him and go into the kitchen. And so he says, is there any way we could sit down and talk about things, baby? And I'm like, okay, now she baby. Now she your baby. But you don't even want to marry the girl. Then you're going to tell the girl on the wedding day. I feel like, Natalie has really been getting her acting on this season. She's really been preparing. I don't know if she's trying to utilize this as a platform to show that she is very good at fake crying or what the case is. But Natalie has really been utilizing this platform as a way for her to practice her acting skills. And I always say this every time I recap, I definitely think since she has done some acting in the past that she needs to audition for a Lifetime movie. I think she just has the whole look. Mike tells her that he just got cold feet and never wanted Natalie to leave, adding that he loves her very much. And Natalie tells him that she forgives him. So Mike tells Natalie that he doesn't want her to go home, but he also doesn't want to marry her. And it seems as though he wants to use the pandemic as a crutch, because he was like, I don't want you to go home. I want you to stay. I mean, the borders are closed, so you wouldn't be able to get back home anyway. So I'm going to call a lawyer and see what your options are. He brought this woman over here on a K-1 visa. So if he no longer wants to marry her, he needs to allow her to go home and stop with this back and forth mess, because it's too much. It's not like she just lives in another state. She lives out of the country, and by her being here and she is not married, then she would then be an illegal immigrant. What part about that I feel like doesn't Mike understand? You can't have your cake and eat it too. And that's exactly what I feel like Mike is trying to do. He's not happy with her, so he needs to let her go. He needs to let this relationship go. In another scene, Mike and Natalie video chat with the immigration lawyer, and the lawyer suggests that they get married. Mike says that he's struggling with getting married because they are having issues and problems. And the lawyer doesn't recommend Natalie travel by plane because she doesn't have anything that is pending on her account, right? And Natalie says she's angry to be with someone who keeps delaying the marriage. Seems to me that Mike wants to, make his own rules, but it's either they get married or she goes back home. Natalie was also rude and snappy to the immigration lawyer, telling her, no, you don't understand, and just talking all over her, Now, Natalie is completely out of time, and if she was smart, she should have given him a deadline to propose and marry, and if he didn't, she could have made arrangements to go back home. What I say is a deadline, she could have kept it to herself. It made a mental note of it. Okay, if I don't get this ring by this is time, okay, that'll be my cutoff. I'm leaving. But she didn't do that. And it's also hard to believe that she has no money saved up in case of an emergency, being that her relationship was already very rocky before coming to America. She should have made sure that if things went left, that she had an emergency fund so that she didn't have to depend on him. So that is really my thoughts on this episode of 90 Day Fiance Season 8, Episode 16. And the title of this episode is Second Guessing. Again, we talked all about Mike and Natalie in this episode. Comment down below your thoughts on what you thought of them in this episode. Give this video a big thumbs up if you haven't already. Share and subscribe. Plus, hit that bell so you'll be notified on the next time I make an upload. And as always, I look forward to talking to you all in that comment section down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.